Please like and subscribe in 2026 to help us buy a goat for a family in need. Thanks, and enjoy the video. Hi, this is Scott with Learn to Stop Hunger, and today we're going to look at episode 15 of Publish Your First Game This Weekend with No-Cost AI Tooling. We're going to add some enhancements to the game. The first one is the pause message. We're going to change it so that it no longer appears on a separate screen, but instead is back to being over the top of the gameplay screen. So I have a prompt set up for that, and we're going to provide it to Gemini. I put, please modify the pause message so that it will appear over the top of the gameplay screen instead of on a separate screen. The gameplay screen still needs to be visible so the player knows the location of his car when resuming the game. This change should not impact any of the other screens, such as the level screen. We're going to want to test some of those other screens because I think there's some separation that's going to have to happen in the code. Gemini is done making the change, so we're going to test the results. So we can see the pause message. I'm going to test out the game over screen. Yep, game over looks good, level looks good. Looks like it did what we needed to, so I think we're good with this change. I'm going to go ahead and commit. Say, show gameplay screen when paused. I like how it kind of graded out too. I don't think we had that in the previous iteration. That change is complete, so we're going to look at the next one. The next update that we're going to make is to display a crash animation. I have a new sprite sheet for that, so I'm going to open up the MGCB editor. And then I'm going to add my file. Click Add. I'm going to do a build. And I'm going to save the MGCB. Now I've got a new prompt that I'm going to provide for displaying the animation. It says, please display a crash animation in the location of a crash when it occurs. Use the explosion.png sprite sheet. Each sprite is 48 by 48. The sprite should be displayed in sequence from left to right in the sprite sheet. Hopefully this will be understandable. Let's see here. Okay, it's saying it's having problems. Okay, it's looking for it. We'll allow for the session. Hopefully it should be able to find it here because it's been added to that content directory. Alright, I'm going to take a break here while Gemini tries to resolve the issues. Gemini says it's finished working through the crash animation, so we're going to try it. It does work, it looks like. Let's see. Didn't see it there at the end. I'm going to try to do that same kind of crash on the side and see what happens. That's pretty good. Yeah, I'm pleased with it. It worked out decent, so I think we're going to stick with that. So I'm just going to say add crash animation. Alright, so that change number 2 is finished. Alright, so on the crash animation change, I forgot to mention, I got the crash animation from itch.io from someone named Anzimas, and I am going to put that in the show notes so you can easily find it. The next change I'm going to do is looping through music, cycling through music. 4 different levels. We'll change the music with each level. We'll have 5 different songs and play the first song for levels 1 and 6, cycle through. The last song will be on levels 5 and 10. So first we need to access our content MGCB editor again. We're going to add some files. These are all from the Tallbeard music loop bundle that I talked about earlier. I'm going to add the link to that also in the show notes. We already have the 1 song. I'm going to add 4 more songs to our MGCB, to our project content. Okay, the first one I'm looking for, let's see, Let 'em Dare 3204. Oops, 3204. Then we want Let 'em Dare 3802. We want Patreon Challenge 08. And we want VGMA Challenge 04. Those are just some songs that I picked out. We're going to add these, add all of them. We're going to build. Alright, the build succeeded. We're going to save now and close the editor. And then I've got a prompt that I'm going to provide. To Gemini. It said, please cycle through a list of songs for the levels. For levels 1 and 6, play Let 'em Dare 3007. 2 and 7, play Let 'em Dare 3204. 3 and 8, play Let 'em Dare 3802. 4 and 9, play Patreon Challenge 08. 5 and 10, play VGMA Challenge 04. Hopefully that'll be easy enough for it to figure out. Hopefully there are no issues with stopping the previous song and starting the new song. I guess I didn't mention that the previous song needs to stop, but hopefully it's obvious. Alright, Gemini is done making the changes, so we're going to test it out now. So I want to try to get to level 2 here. That wasn't very smart. Should have avoided the crash. See, we got 1 pellet in this lane, and of course the computer picks the 1 lane that we need. Alright, we should finish it out here. think I'd like it to stop playing music in between levels. So I'm going to make that slight change. So it's just when the, let's see here, okay, I've worked out a whole prompt for this now. It's pretty basic though. When the level number screen displays, please stop the playing of the music. When the gameplay starts, the level appropriate music should begin playing. This should be a fairly simple change. Okay, it says it's done already. Okay, so no music. Okay, and the music came on. And you see how it acts when changing between levels here. I'm out of my speed boost, so it's going to take a little bit longer. I just have to get to outside. Okay, music stopped. Oh good, it started it properly. Okay, it reset. When I start the game over, it reset properly. So far so good. I'm going to hear the music for, let's see, we didn't get to level 3. We're going to try that out. Yep, sounds good. We'll try level 4. Different piece of music. And level 5. Speed definitely picks up on level 5. So 6 should be our same old music here. Yes, it is. And then 7 should cycle into a new song. And I did. So I think those updates are good. We're going to change this to a 1 and then commit our changes. And that takes care of change number 3 for our enhancements. Okay, we're going to look at changing that inner track graphic now, which is just an empty graphic. We want to open up the Content MGCB editor so we can add a sprite sheet. And let's see, we will navigate to our location here. And pick the sheet that we want, which was inner track backgrounds. It's one that I created from our previous racing pack sprite sheet that we discussed. I'll try to put a link in the show notes for this one again. I have put it in a previous show note. And I'm going to go ahead and build, and then I will save. We should be all set to start with that now. And I have a prompt. We're going to start out just trying to display the one to make sure that we're on the right track. And it says, please display the first sprite in an inner track backgrounds to ping in the empty area inside the inner track lane. The sprite is 400 by 150. So we're going to try this one first, and then we're going to work on cycling through, if this works well, cycle through a different graphic for each level. Gemini says it has implemented the change, so we're going to test and see how it looks. Something's definitely not right there. I wonder if those are the only, if only those middle sprites are the ones that we can use. Huh. I'm gonna have to, I had asked earlier about what the sizing was on that, and it seems like maybe I got it wrong. I'm gonna have to research further on this and see how I can resolve it. Okay, so I asked Gemini about the size of the inner area, and it did some calculations and came back and told me it's 300 by 50. So I've created a new inner track background graphic. Let's see, I'm going to go ahead and remove this one, delete it, then we're going to go into the MGCB editor. And I need to remove from here. Let's see, exclude. Okay, and then I'm going to add my new one, which honestly, to make it look better, really we should be modifying more of these sprites, but for now we're just going to modify just the inner area. Uh-oh, wait a minute. Let's cancel that. Something didn't work right there. Okay, so I'm going to go to that folder. Why are we selecting a folder? Okay, I hit the wrong icon. Let's see. We would just want to add an item, not a folder. So we're going to do the small inner track backgrounds. We'll copy it. We're going to go ahead and do a build, and we'll save. Now, okay, so now we want to say use small inner track backgrounds PNG to load the inner track sprite instead. Sprite size is 300 by 50. Okay. We'll see if this looks any better. Gemini's done making the change, so we're going to review the results. Okay, looks like it fits alright in there. Just adds a little bit more detail to the middle of the track. So now the next thing that I'm going to do is, that sheet has several sprites in it, so we're going to cycle through those. Let's see. I've got a prompt here to do that. Please cycle through the sprites for the inner track area when each level changes. Levels 1 and 6 should show the first sprite, levels 2 and 7 should show the second sprite, 3 and 8 the third sprite, 4 and 9 the fourth sprite, and 5 and 10 the fifth sprite. Okay, it says it's done already, so we're going to try it out. Obviously we've seen level 1 already. Getting pretty close here. And we finished the level. Oh no, it didn't work for some reason. Maybe it doesn't, I don't know if it doesn't know where to pull it from. Let's see. Alright, so let's see here. So we're gonna say inner track background sprite did not appear in level 2. The second sprite within small inner track backgrounds.png should be showing for level 2. I would think this should be fairly straightforward, but we'll see how long it takes Gemini to resolve. Okay, so Gemini has finished working on this and it explained what the issue was. This makes sense. It was looking for the sprites to be stacked horizontally and I stacked them vertically instead. It's changed the code to handle this. So we're going to test. Oh boy, why did I do that? Hopefully I make it to level 2. Now I'm in trouble. Whew. That was a close call. And another close call. Alright, we're getting close here. Just gotta try to go to that outer track now. And I'm not gonna be able to go all the way through there, unfortunately. Let's see, all I gotta do is go warp across and I'll finish it. Okay, great. Alright, we did get a different background, so that's working now. That's good. Hopefully we can get through this. Looks like we will. Alright, so we can check level 3 out now. Oh yeah, looks like it worked. Uh-oh. Alright, so let's see. We saw 1, 2, and 3. Let's look at level 4 here. Changing a testing variable. We just need to remember to change that back before we commit the code. Yep, that's different. That's level 4. And level 5. Yep, different again. So it looks like it's working. Let's see, let's go ahead and try level 6. That should cycle back to the first background graphic. And it did. Now let's see, let's look at 10. That should give us the last background graphic. Looks like it's working. So I'm going to put that back to 1, and I'm going to save the change. We'll say add inner track graphics. Alright, so that enhancement is complete as well. Okay, so my last enhancement that I'm going to work on is replacing the font. If we look at this font.sprite font file, you can see that we are currently using Arial, and from what I understand, you're not supposed to distribute your game with Arial because it requires a license. Microsoft has a redistributable font pack of open type fonts. I guess actually it says it's created by Ascender Corporation and licensed by Microsoft, and they're free to use in your games. So I'm going to put the link for that in the show notes so you can look those over as well, but I've picked one particular font from that I'm going to use to replace Arial. So I believe I've got the process for that. We're going to walk through it here. We need to go to our MGCB editor, and we're going to add an existing file, and then we're going to go to the location for the font files. Let's see, here we go. Alright, and then I want Seago UI Mono Bold. This one I think is kind of close to Arial. And so we're going to copy to the directory. And we're going to build. Interesting. It skipped. Wonder why it skipped that wave file. Do we have that anymore? Retro Vehicle Car 03. Yeah, it looks like we have it, so interesting. Let's see. Let's do a clean and a rebuild. It's working through it. It says that wait a minute. The error is actually related to the font file. maybe I should not include that in here. Let's see, where's that at? Okay, so let's take that out. And that worked. Okay, so actually that caused a problem. Let's see. Let me look back and check on another project I had. See if I was supposed to include that or not. Okay, so it seems like I have led you astray here. We don't actually add the TTF file into the MGCB editor, but it is good to have it included in the project here. I'm going to just double check the properties there. No, I guess those look good. So what I do want to do is I'm going to go ahead and change the font name. I'm going to change that right here. Change Arial. I'm going to try that. Now, you know what? I'm not sure if this is needed or not, but the sprite font file is inside the MGCB editor. It looks like it's referenced there. I'm going to go ahead and do a rebuild here, just for the heck of it. Yeah, I don't know if that's necessary or not, but I'm doing it anyway. And then I'm going to save. Okay, so now let's go ahead and try to, actually let's do a search here. See if I think that was the only place really that we were referencing that. Okay. So now we'll try to run it. I wonder if we might need to make some adjustments with this. I don't know. I do think looks like, oh shoot, yeah. Huh. So that, yeah, that's stretched out further. The level message is fine. How about pause? Let's look at that. Okay, so pause, press enter, start to resume. That's fine. Okay, so pause, it's the game over message, right? Yeah, that one, we need to like shrink the text on that, it seems like. So let's try, I'm going to come back in here. We've got 24 there. I don't know if I want to go all the way down to, alright, we're going to try 22. And again, I'm not sure, really uncertain if this requires a rebuild or not. I'm going to do it. Do a rebuild. So I put it at 22, which is a very small adjustment. I'm just going to try to get to that. Okay, let's look at that. That looks okay. Just going to try to get to that game over screen. Oh yeah, it fits now. So we're in good shape there. I think the only thing is, I'd like to see if it could maybe vertically center the text. So let's see if we can do that. Let's see. Where are we at here? Okay. Please vertically center the text in the HUD area. Okay. So we'll see. While Gemini is working on it, we're going to take a break here. Okay, Gemini says it has made the adjustment, so we're going to test it out. Huh. I guess maybe it is centered. I think what's throwing me off is the bottom of the P probably is making it look like it's not centered, but I guess it's reasonably well centered. Let's see, I want to see that game over message again. Okay, there's that one. And then also the pause. Yep. Okay, I think we're good then. So, let's see. We're going to go ahead and commit this. We'll say, or actually, use redistributable font. Okay, commit that. So now, basically, we have finished all of the enhancements that I was going to make for episode 15. That was quite a bit, so thanks for sitting through it. And we're basically wrapped up with working on the gameplay area, and next time in episode 16 we're going to be looking at adding a title screen. So thanks for watching, and please tune in.